What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? YouTube, Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content. Now, AB is back. He's rejoining the team after a suspension, and which I feel like he should have been suspended. And if he was going to be punished, it should have been maybe the least amount of punishment possible, especially when you consider the state of society that's going on in regards to individuals that have done the same thing, i.e., Aaron Rodgers. They were at the point. Tampa was at the point to where they wanted to cut AB loose. I don't think people realize that they were about to cut AB loose, but you know who came to the rescue? Tom Brady. The same Tom Brady that people like to make this argument that he's a racist and white supremacist and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's on Tom Brady. Which I'm not gonna go down that road. Look, when it comes to that, uh, you kind of got to take it for what it is. And if they're gonna put Tom Brady in under that type of microscope or make that stereotype about him, then you might as well do it for some of the guys in which you haven't seen any type of proof of racism that there is. That'd be like saying, Travis Kelce is a racist. You know what I'm saying? Or, they even put, Aaron Rodgers as a racist, and one of his good friends in I think it's Randall Cobb. They're like great friends or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, you never know what's going on in the back of one's mind. But really, it's about football, which you can understand, and that happens in business. Listen, man, what people have to understand, man, and I'm not trying to get stray away from the topic, but it's going to correlate back to what I'm talking about in just a minute. See, in life, man, like when it comes to business and a profession, in this world, you have people that need to get stuff done. They need certain tools. They need certain things in order to get done. And without those certain tools or without those parts, it's not going to move correctly. Such as a corporation. If a corporation is valued as a popular corporation, they're like the cream of the crop. They're at the top level. You know what I'm saying? And everything is all falling into place. Everything from logistics, manufacturing, uh, you know, the the marketing, sales, every department, transportation, every department, they click, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to like one another, but they work together. Like for instance, and this has nothing to do with race, but this is more it's correlating to what I'm saying. Like Shaq and Kobe, yeah, Shaq was crying at Kobe's funeral and stuff, and they had to sit down and that's my brother, and I love him and stuff like that. But at the same token, they weren't hanging out. They weren't the best of friends. They weren't buddies and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But on the court, their relationship, their relationship was important, and they actually needed each other. And when you have like-minded individuals that are trying to achieve something, then that person is going to reach out and do everything possible to make sure that you're there and that you don't go anywhere. Well, that's the same case with Tom Brady, and he did that with AB while he was in New England. He did that for several players, and guess what color they were? They were African American. He did it for Gronk. Hey, look, I'm gonna go a step further. They were close to not getting Gronk. Gronk was seen as pretty much going downhill. Like they had no faith in Gronk, because of him being injured and him aging. Well, he was still relatively young, but like it was kind of a case of I don't even like to put the AD syndrome now, but we have to. It was kind of he was turning. Okay, well, damn! Every time you turn around, Gronk is hurt, but when he's healthy, he's the best tight end in the league. You know what I'm saying? But when not, then okay, you got these other guys that are pretty much more durable than he is. Well, they pretty much had washed their hands with him, much like they washed their hands with a lot of those other players who were seen as pretty much the expendables, like a Pierre Paul because of his hand, like Indomitable Sue because of his, Indomitable Sue. It wasn't because of his talent or anything like that. It was because of his nastiness that he had in his attitude and recklessness sometimes. Not off the field, but on the field. And people don't understand. Like Indomitable Sue wasn't doing anything different than what they were doing when they played back in the days. It's just that you didn't really know about it unless you actually played the game of football or actually played the game of basketball or played any type of sport. A lot of people, man, see what I like to do, and I promise you, I'm gonna get back on the subject. You know me, I'm random. I'm random as a mug around here. A lot of you put yourselves in the athlete's mind and their mindset. That's why I can conversate with certain individuals. I can name off a few. You know, I can conversate, what I'm saying, with multiple guys that are amongst the LDBC, and even for the ones that aren't amongst the LDBC, I can conversate with them. But I'm not gonna name, names right off the bat and single anybody out or anything. But when you talk to these individuals, even if they have a difference of opinion when it comes to a certain player, right? They put things in proper context. Like, people always preaching context and perspective and being realistic, things of that nature. Well, you have to place yourself in that athlete's mindset And see, when people say, okay, well, in Donovan Sue, he shouldn't have had a chance and all this other stuff. Well, why not? Because his form of nastiness, that they had the same type of mentality with the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, like his type of nastiness, he had the same type of nastiness that LT did. What's going on, 3000? I see you in the building. Grand rising to you. Like a lot of people, like Herm Edwards, he came out and he basically said, like, when you're playing, because Herm Edwards he played in the secondary, he's a DB, and Herm Edwards said one time that to play this game, you have to have a little nasty. He said when you play any sport, you have to have a little nasty. Like for instance, when Kobe Bryant was practicing and stuff like that with his teammates, people, the onlookers and stuff were like, "Oh my gosh, Kobe's he's hitting Sasha Vujacic in his stomach and in his chest and stuff like that, and he's talking to him crazy and stuff like that." But like if me or the brother 3000 or what I'm saying, Ticket or Two Raw or LBZ or LB or Nola James or uh, what I'm saying, Greenleaf or Elder Rufus or what I'm saying, even FYF Lamont and Goat Mike, if they look at that, they'll be like, that ain't no big deal because that happened. And some of these guys that the guys that I mentioned, they played or they've been in because I see sports as serving in the I see sports and serving in the military as the same because you have to follow a protocol in both of those or you're going to get disciplined, right? But like you have to put yourself in the athlete's mindset and also put yourself in their shoes too. That's why, okay, everybody talks about the bubble ring when it comes to the Lakers, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being random. This is a video about AB and everything, but I promise you, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back on everything. But okay, the only reason like a lot of people are saying, okay, yeah, that was a bubble ring, and I'm even guilty of it. I say, yeah, they played open gym and stuff like that, but I was saying it like, okay, there are some players that, okay, when the bubble wasn't happening and it was just regular people, that happened to be in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? There happened to be a big crowd. It wasn't an empty gym and stuff like that. Okay, a lot of those guys weren't playing the same way. But if you take the crowd out of there and it's just an empty gym, and I was like, it'll be like playing open gym, and that's what mindset that I look at. Like, and some of y'all don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people they criticize. They come with the criticism of the Lakers that okay, yeah, you only won that championship. That was a bubble ring. That championship was given to you. But I don't really say any of that because hey, they still had to go out there. They still had to perform. They still had to play. But the only reason now people are saying that is because okay, well, what happened the very next year? So that's the argument that you can use. But to get back on AB and Tom Brady, what Tom Brady, he signed off on it. You know what I'm saying? And see, you love it or hate it, in every sport and in every generation, or you should say every era, there's a particular player that has more power, more so than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And you love it or hate it, Tom Brady just happens to be, that guy. You love it or hate it, Canelo just happens to be that guy. You love it or hate it, LeBron James just happens to be that guy. Even Kevin Durant is becoming that guy. You know what I'm saying? In terms of signing off on certain things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Controlling the chessboard. At one point, it was Mayweather. He was that guy. You know what I'm saying? Even Aaron Rodgers. He's got enough power to be like, you know what? Yeah, da 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 da. Go ahead. And see, that's what the homie pro basketball ticket was talking about when it came to LeBron signing off for Isaiah. See, you criticize LeBron and you say, okay, well, he ain't this, Jay Reed this, Jay Reed that. He did this, he did that, right? You know what I'm saying? But when he does something admirable, which is let a guy like, or bring Isaiah Thomas back, you know what I'm saying? Because, there was some negative things that had taken place that first go around when in Cleveland and stuff like that, and then also when he was talking about, yeah, they don't practice and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? But LeBron James still gave him a shot. He signed off on him. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. When it was Danny Ainge and them that pretty much ran him to the ground and ran him off. It's just like when a coach don't like you, right? When a coach really can't stand you. I've seen coaches where they might not like a player, and guess what they do? They'll run them to death, and then they'll pretty much cut them. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. There was one time when a coach he got into a fight with one of the players, and he was actually one of the best players on the team. But see what and this guy was getting looked at by everybody. He was just at that time he was just a sophomore, but he would be killing everybody, absolutely destroying everybody in practices and in games and stuff. He had a short-lived high school career in terms of sports and stuff like that, but he loved the streets. Coach brought him in. You know, his grades, there wasn't even nothing wrong with his grades, but the dude was attached to the streets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about like he would have females coming to his practice, you know what I'm saying, half dressed, they would be looking good, you know what I'm saying? And the coach would tell them not to come to the practices, the closed practice. He'll make the team run and everything, you know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, well, fuck that, I ain't running. Fuck you. He's gotten into it with him multiple times. Guess what? He'll come back to practice and everything because the dude was so damn talented. What's up with it, Celtics? Man, dog, man. Celtics Nation, dog. Oh, man, dog. Yeah, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. What's up with it, New Ace? I see you in the building. Man, that Celtics Nation, man. Or it pop up like every 20 years or so. It's all good. I ain't tripping, though. Happy holidays, too. Anyways, the dude was so good. But see, the coach was like, you know what? We're not going to have this. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was urging to keep the dude because the dude was, he was 6'6", you know what I'm saying? Could shoot, had a handle, you know what I'm saying? Get to the rack, all that jazz, you know what I'm saying? And then he knew how to play street ball and he knew how to play organized too as well. He just had his understanding was on a whole nother level. Coach was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna keep you, but man, you gotta bust out these suicides and bust out all this. Like what, man? That ain't nothing. Man, he busted out the suicides, did little the punishment drill that he had to do, and he said, yeah, that's it. You're off the team. He said, what? Man, he went to the coach, man. He grabbed him, man, and threw him in the bleachers. He's like, "Hey, get your hands off of me!" Da 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 da. He's like, "Man," but everybody had to restrain him because we had already went to the showers, but there was like other guys doing their drills and stuff like that. Showing the video. Oh, you mean the notifications? I know there's a couple people that don't get notifications or whatever. Is that what you're talking about? Oh yeah, man. I'm not tripping on that. I mean, that's not just me though. That's not just me. I mean, there's several other people, especially in the LDBC, man. Like because they don't really respect it. But hey, that's okay though, Celtics Nation. I'll still maneuver regardless, and they're not gonna stop it regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a silly rabbit. You know what I'm saying? So just figure that out. Tricks are for kids, and I definitely got them up my sleeve. But that's what they try to do. They try to knock us, man, but it just don't stop, and I grind regardless. You know what I'm saying? I grind regardless. So and some people might get mad when they say, "Oh yeah, well, Polo, they're not showing your videos." Man, I expected that. You know what I'm saying? Like 1 minute, like I'll have like what is it like one night when I did the Crawford fight, when I reported the Crawford and uh and Sean Porter fight, man, there was like 100 and something people in there. You know what I'm saying? So they be acting funny with me, but I ain't tripping though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even tripping on it. That's what they do. That's definitely what they gonna do. But anyways, to get back to what I was saying, yeah, we had to restrain the dude. They had to restrain the dude, and luckily he didn't press charges on him or anything. Shit, my not. You said I'm always my not comment, but I don't need it, man. What you mean, Kevin Foster? I be trying to understand what some of y'all be saying. Oh, you are. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I mean, if you comment, you comment. You know what I'm saying? If you come up, you come up. But one thing that I'm not going to sit here and do is if you say something to me and you want to go back and forth, or you try to throw a wrench in something like that, which I really, I, I, I prefer you do. If you disagree with me or something, like the brother True the King says, man, don't, I'm with him. That's why, like, when True the King says, don't be a chat warrior. I feel him what he's saying. Don't sit there and say something and then okay, then you run from no, that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to back up your argument or whatever you're saying with facts. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, okay, well, LeBron James is the greatest player in the world or something like that, you know what I'm saying? and then somebody tells you, okay, well, no, he's not. Okay, don't sit there and combat me in the comment section, and then you get personal and stuff like that. That's what gets me. Okay, no, jump on the panel and tell me how you feel. That's my only thing. And you understand why a lot of guys they get heated about that. Now you can't sit there and say something about a particular team or something like that. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Hold on 1 minute. Nah, but it's just Kevin, man, and 3000 and Celtics Nation. Yeah, man, it's ways around all of that stuff. What I'm saying, like Celtics Nation saying they wouldn't, sending out my videos, my notifications. I've been knowing that. I've been knowing that. You know, I've been knowing that, and they're trying to do everything possible to to stop your boy's grind, but it's just what it is. But yeah, man, AB's back. AB is back. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Leave your comments, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Kevin Foster, I barely got the one on the Jake. I know. Ain't that some shit? But I did that this morning. I did that this morning. But see, check this out, Kevin Foster. Watch me talk about like, watch me talk about like AD or LeBron or what I'm saying, Westbrook or something like that, something dealing with Lakers, right? Oh yeah, oh, they'll be all on it. Like when I talked about Young Dolph, oh boy, man, everybody saw that, right? But when I talk about like just random because see, a lot of people have to understand that I'm not one dimensional. I don't just talk about just one thing or say the same thing over and over, man. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why like a lot of people I really can't like listen to. I'm not always gonna talk about basketball, and basketball is my first love. You know what I'm saying? Like Ticket is my brother, but that he can't stand football. Or he's not gonna talk about football because of the Kaepernick situation. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of others. But I talk about it though. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas that look at me crazy. Oh, you talking about tennis? Oh shit, you talking about golf? Oh shit, you talking about boxing? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to know what's going on. It's a lot of interesting things, man, in different sports that a lot of people don't see. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know. Like I know, like 5 different professional soccer players, and they'll tell me about stuff that's going on in the sport. Now one of none of them went to the like they weren't playing in the World Cup or anything like that, but they played at the professional level and stuff, and they played against some pretty talented guys. But you know, it's like man, I like to be well rounded. Like what I'm saying. I talk about everybody. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to entertainment and stuff like that, I'm not just gonna talk about because I'm from Texas and I just talk about just the South or Southern music. No, I talk about East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Because I happen to love East Coast music. I talk about Midwest because I happen to talk about Midwest music. I talk about you know uh, Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 verses. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everything, and that's the thing, man. With in the Lions, Den, we don't we don't limit ourselves. There be a lot of guys that don't that don't limit themselves. Like Jake Paul. Listen, you say what you want about Jake Paul. That motherfucker's a marketing genius. He's a marketing genius. He's a marketing genius. He's a marketing genius. Him and his brother are marketing geniuses. And not only that, man, you gotta pay homage to them. You know what I'm saying? You might not like their fighting style or what they do and some of the antics and all that other stuff, but they're smart, and you gonna tune in, especially if you don't like them. Why? Because you want that motherfucker to lose. That's a smart. That Hey, that's all about being a villain. Like for instance, like if you going into a contest, you know what I'm saying, and you're seen as that bad person, you know what I'm saying, but you got the hero and you got the villain. 9 times out of 10, they're watching to see the villain lose, and when the villain is winning, guess what? It amazes them. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck? And that's intriguing. Polo Sports talking to ENT, man. I'll get at y'all later.